Hello lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. See, I told you I would be back, and here I am to talk about another topic that I find really important and really empowering, and that is how to live your best life. I'm sure we all struggle with this, especially with like social media and seeing everybody like living lives that we wish we had. So I wrote down a list of things that I want to talk about. Of course, I needed to write a list. I call it my brain dumping. It is entirely out of order, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to talk about some really important stuff today. So stay tuned. So again, I have my little curated list here of all my stuff that just goes on in my brain when I talk about, different topics. So my first tip on living your best life is to stop comparing yourself to other people. I know it's really difficult, especially with social media, Instagram, Facebook, all those. We're constantly being surrounded by other people's lives, and not so much our own. Essentially, my thought process is nobody else lives in your shoes but you. Like, this is it. You're the only one in here. You don't know, like, people don't know what you go through every day. You don't know what other people go through every day. They could drive Mercedes cars and have a mansion, and you don't know that they're crying in their bedroom at night. They could, drive like an old car and not have the best house, and they're the happiest people in the world. And it's like, well, how can you be so happy and so satisfied with that when there's like so much more to seek? Everybody has their own life journey. Everybody deals with situations every single day. And, some situations that other people deal with, you may not be able to handle. And that's a reason why that's their life and this is your life. So whatever it is that you need to do, just stop comparing yourself to others. You can stay off social media, which is the first and biggest one. And you can also, if you can't stay off social media, which is a concept, this is a concept that I recently heard of, is just unfollow and curate your Instagram, your Facebook to things that just bring you joy. Like, my Instagram and Facebook is filled with like hair accessories and like dogs, because dogs genuinely make me happy, and I'm obsessed with hair accessories. I have my own, hair accessory brand that I started. So we just need to quit putting ourselves in other people's shoes and thinking that we can have that life, because that life isn't meant for us. And you need to find what it is that is meant for you. I know that is a hard pill to swallow, because I feel the same. There's been people around me that have had things happen for them a lot faster than me. But seeking after what other people have is just genuinely not healthy. And we need to focus on what it is that, is good for us and is going to make us happy. So the second thing I want to talk about, or my next tip, is just surrounding yourself with people that love you and support you. Not people that just come, to you whenever they need something. People that like understand you and they love you and support you and will be with you every step of the way. I find this extremely important. I mean, I graduated high school 10 years ago, and those people that I thought would be my friends for a lifetime, they're just not. And that's okay. It's okay, because we all grow up and we all change. And it's super important to get rid of those people that are just, there because they think they can use you, or it's just a convenience for them. You need to surround yourself with people that support you, that are support any changes you make in your life, that are just there, and they're never gonna, leave you. Next tip is just to write down your goals and the steps you're gonna do to get to those goals. So my goal this year is to save $1,200. I have, I want to build up an emergency fund, a good one. And that's what I need to do. And I also have a wedding I'm going to be a bridesmaid for. So I need to save a couple $100s to make sure that I have the money for that. So that's just one goal. And then you just, from that goal, you go, hey, how am I going to get there? Well, if I put away $50 a week for the next, 12 weeks or whatever, I'm going to have the money I need, or $100 a week for the next 12 weeks, that I'm going to have the money that I need. And that'll be your one goal set. And what I find super helpful is if you write down your progress as you go. So let's say my bedroom needs to be redone. I need to redo my bedroom. Okay, so start in one corner of your bedroom, because I tend to be an interior designer guru, but I'm really not. I get really overwhelmed when it comes to interior design. But I find that if you start in one corner at a time, before you know it, your project is done. So let's say you need to buy new bedding. Okay, go buy your new bedding. You need to change the color of the walls. The next week, change the color of the walls. And just take slow baby steps to accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish. You may have even bigger goals, like paying off your car. Well, what do I need to do to pay off my car? Do I need to work more hours? Do I need to cut back on spending? What do I need to do to pay off my car? And just like write it down and like go through in any little progress you make. That say you owe $5,000 on your car. Okay, well, this week I can pay an extra $20. So write $5,000 on a piece of paper, and that week you pay the extra $20, subtract the 20. Because if you see your progress, as human beings, we get motivated by progress. Because if we just, keep paying the $20 and not knowing if it's even doing anything, we're just going to give up. We're going to be like, okay, well, I've been paying an extra $20, $30 on my car payment every week, but this isn't going anywhere. I don't see it. Where is it going? So just write it down and subtract as you go. And that is super helpful in helping accomplish goals. My next tip is to quit listening to the news. The news can be good when they talk about like weather and, things that are important. But the news is a little draining sometimes. I mean, there's so much bad stuff that's been going on, and it just like makes you feel unhappy and just like sad and down. And just, my news is literally Facebook. That's probably not the best thing in the world, but there's so many different news platforms with so many different views. It's like, which one's the right one? Which one should I be listening to? So in general, I would just stop listening to the news. I mean, the society in general has, a certain way of doing things, like getting into a credit card debt, getting student loans, getting all this stuff. But I find it to be kind of invigorating to be the weird one, to not get the student loan debt, to not get the credit card, to put as much money away as I can, to just like live my life the way I feel is going to be the best for me, that's going to help me succeed. Because all these talks about like student loans and all this stuff, I just feel like it's not meant to make you succeed. It's meant to put you in debt. So we are just not going to listen to that, and we're going to figure out a way that we're gonna break away from that societal norm and just be our weird, happy self. Next tip I have is to get out of your toxic job. So I have had a lot of back and forth with my career and what I've been wanting to do. I realized more recently that I love admin work. I could do admin work all day. And I also know that I'm super creative, and I would love my YouTube channel to take off, and I would love my headband business to take off. And that stuff is really important to me. So if you're in a job that, first of all, it doesn't pay well, and secondly, you're surrounded by people and their drama all the time because they don't know how to leave it at home, I think it's time to go. I know some people like get into a job and they stay there forever, and that's great if you find a job that you love and you want to do for the rest of your life, but always keep your options open, because you never know what's behind the next door. And I know the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but it doesn't hurt to explore your options and to see, what you could be worth. Like me, I have a bachelor's in business, and I have not been able to use that degree. I've had that degree for 2 years now. And it's been a struggle to find a job or a career that degree works with. I know eventually I would like to go back and get my master's in something. The dream would be to become a doctor, because that's been my dream for ages. But just keep searching, get out of that toxic work environment. Focus on fixing up your resume. Always do your resume for the job that you're applying for. So I learned this recently from my boyfriend's cousin. Shout out to Kayla, thank you. And it's to sit down, look at your resume, and curate it to the job that you're going to be applying for. Your resume does not need to be very long, maybe a page and a half. and just curate it for the job that you're looking for, so that way when you put it in, it matches directly and you have more of a chance of getting a call back. The last thing I want to talk about is just doing what sets your soul on fire. That is a quote I saw on social media. When did I see it? Like years ago. It just said, do what sets your soul on fire. And that was so empowering to me, because that just like made me realize like I need to do what, you know, what makes me happy. And this is what the conversation of the topic of this conversation is to genuinely live your best life and do what makes you happy. Obviously, do not do anything illegal. Make sure everything you're doing is legal, because illegal things are bad. But just like do whatever it is that sets your soul on fire. If you like to go to the beach, you go to the beach. If you have a small business like I do and you want to focus on that, focus on that. If you want to hang out with your dogs all day, and like I'm certified dog mom lady over here, hang out with your dogs all day, because that just like warms your soul and warms your heart and just like makes you like warm and happy. And there's nothing better in the world than doing like what sets your soul on fire, what genuinely makes you happy. So those are my tips for living your best life. I hope you found them really helpful. I will definitely be doing more videos diving into all the topics I spoke to today and how we can do them. Please like and subscribe. I don't need to tell you that because it's in the beginning. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video and you get inspired. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.